Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear friends. Myself, Rahim Mugheri, and today we are going to learn that how the English nation was made. In fact, we are talking about the making of English nation. As you all know, dear friends, the original inhabitants of the England were Celts, and these Celts were usually called as Britons. And with that name, with the passage of time, the England acquired that other name, the Britain and the Great Britain. My dear friends, these Celts were the original inhabitants. They were peace living, but they were helping to the Gaul, the Celts of France, when Romans ruling there, and that's why the Romans also attacked on England. First of all, in 55 BC, they attacked on England, and secondly, they attacked on England in 54 BC. They attacked on England in order to give the lesson to those people who were aiding the Gauls of France. And finally, they attacked on England in 43 AD, and it was a successful attack, and Romans started to rule over the England. At that time, Roman Empire was a large empire and it had a powerful army. So, at that time, there were Picts, generally known as painted men, and Scots from the side of Scotland. They were barbaric tribes. They used to attack on England, on the Celts. That's why Romans decided to draw a hydran wall. That walls remains are also present somehow even today, and that wall get the name of Hadrian because at that time there was Prince Hadrian who was ruling there. After that, Roman Empire was itself attacked by some Germanic barbarians, and in order to defend their own homeland, Romans had to left the England, and that's why they withdrew from England in 407 AD. I would like to tell you that when Roman left the England, there was no any proper and no any long and accurate impact of the Romans over the England people. Tried to civilize the Celts. They made roads, villas, libraries, buildings, and much more things in the England. But when Romans left in 407 AD, they left no any accurate impact over the lifestyle and the people of England. When Romans left in 407 AD, then Celts were left without the shelter, and there was no one to defend the Celts. That's why in 410, Anglo, Saxons and Jews started to attack over the island of England. They were also Germanic barbaric people, and they were less civilized. That's why then when they attacked on England, and they attacked on England completely in 6th century, and they threw the original inhabitants of the England, Celts, to the Ireland and Wales. And they also accepted Christianity in the 6th century. And after that, there started new tribes attacking on the England. They were Scandinavians and Norsemen, and somehow they are called as Vikings. They started attacking about 732 AD on the England, and also they occupied the whole of England except the south, because in the south there lived a powerful and strong king, the King Alfred, the great Alfred King. And also the King Alfred defeated these Scandinavians in 878 AD, and then they promised with the King Alfred that they will leave the south and west for the King Alfred, and they will return towards the north and the east. And north and the east of the England then used to call as Danelaw due to these Scandinavians and Norsemen, because usually they were called Danes by the Englishmen, by the Anglo-Saxons. And there was another king. I would like to tell you here that when they remained limited to the Danelaw, the successors of King Alfred not only conquered the Danelaw, the whole of England, but also few parts of the Scotland. So there became the king of England in 971, the Ethelred. He became the king of England. Especially, basically, he kept a hatred for the Danes people. And that's why when at a night the all Danes were asleep, he attacked over them and he killed thousands of Danes, Norsemen. And then he couldn't control the situation and he fled to the Normandy. And when he fled to the Normandy, his son fought bravely, but after that his son was killed by a traitor. And after him there became the king Canute. He was the king of Normandy and Denmark. He was the king of Norway and Denmark. He tried to merge the Saxons and Danes, because there was a great hatred between Saxon and Danes due to the king Ethelred, and that this king also started to try to make them to forget their anger and enmity, and there were also intermarriages between the Saxons and the Danes, and their enmity was ended by the help of King Canute. This king was died in 1035 and his son could not live long. That's why in 1042 there became the king of England Edward the Confessor. He became the king of England up to 1066. As you know that Edward had no any son. That's why after the Edward there was no any person from the royal family to be chosen as the king of England. That's why the Witan was the assembly of ministers at the time of the England. They chose Harold as their king. When Harold was announced the king of England, then there was objections from the Duke of Normandy, William, and the king of Norway. Both of them also claimed the throne of England. That's why they planned to fight with the Harold. When Harold defeated the Norwegians in the north, then Duke of Normandy, the William, attacked on England from the south, and then he ran from north to the south. And in that process, as earlier they had a fight, that's why his army also scattered, and with a less army he fought the war of Hastings, which is known as the Battle of Hastings, on the 14th October 1066. And in that war Harold was martyred, and the king of England was announced the William as the William the Conqueror. I hope you have understood, and here the Anglo-Saxon age completes, and I hope that you have understood this whole video. If you liked it, then please like it, comment it and share it. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.